What's up, y'all? It's another Sunday, and yes, another story time. Per usual, I'm going to break it down into 3 parts with a life lesson at the end, because life lessons, baby, happiness is a hustle. So hustle for your happiness. Y'all already know we have a hybrid community that's both online and in person. We have different memberships that start for free $99 at the amazing hioworld.com. We also have a shop. Just a little plug. I'm out here. I got that ish on. This week's story is about me when I was a kid. Okay, so you're gonna get a little background. So part 1, as a kid, I was a very serious kid. Why? I don't know. I really don't. But when I go back and watch home movies of me, I always had a furrowed brow. I was always talking very seriously, you know, and it was just crazy because I didn't realize I could be funny until I was like in the 5th grade, and kids would laugh on what I was saying, but I was like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being dead ass right now. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is my mom, Cynthia, spoiled us as kids. So every Friday we would get to rent a movie and order pizza. Some of it too is like, it was the weekend. Cynthia was not about to cook. Okay, she wasn't trying to deal with us. She was trying to live her life. So I also understood it, but we were spoiled. And so we would get pizza every Friday. We would rent a movie. Part 2, in my 5th grade class, we had, I can't remember if we won like a readathon or a jogathon or something, but we had won something. And so my teacher was like, okay, cool, we're gonna have a pizza party. And again, I was a serious kid. So I was like, why we always got to have a pizza party? Because I'm thinking in my mind, I already have pizza once a week. Every Friday, I already have some pizza. So why we got to have pizza again at school? It was a waste. And so my teacher was like, what else, what else would you want to have? And I was like, I don't know, like sandwiches, sandwiches and cookies or sandwiches and chips. And so initially, the other kids were booing me, which I understand. I was not mad at them because some of them were my friends. And I was like, damn, you're just going to boo me out loud. But they were like, no, that sucks, we want pizza, which I get, because as a kid, you always want pizza. But I was like thinking about this logically. I'm like, I'm probably going to have some kind of pizza party this weekend. I'm getting pizza on Friday. I don't want pizza again. So ultimately, my teacher, we voted. Let's just say we had 18 kids in the class. Voted, it was 16-2. Me and my one homegirl, like that was like my ride or die, was like, I'm with you. I really want the pizza, but I can support that. And so my teacher was like, come back with an argument or a case for why we should have sandwiches and not pizza. We'll vote again, but whatever the final vote is tomorrow is what we're gonna do. Part 3. I went home. I took this very seriously. Why? Because I was a serious kid. Why? Because I don't know. But I was coming up with arguments and everything. And so my mom gets home. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, girl, I got to try a case. Because my mom was a court reporter, and she did always want me to be a lawyer. But I was like, girl, I got a case to try in class tomorrow. And this is what it is. He just kind of laughed and was like, them kids ain't gonna want no damn sandwiches. And just because you have pizza all the time doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to have pizza. However, she was like, I'll hear you out. Okay, make your points. Cool. So I did a little mock trial with Cynthia, and then I went to class. And so my argument was, when I was trying to use logic to get these kids to vote, I said, 1, most of y'all play on these sport teams that I play on, so you gonna have a pizza party this weekend anyways. You really want to have pizza on pizza on pizza. 2, sandwiches can be healthier for you depending on the toppings, mayo, all that stuff, cheese, whatever you put on it. And, we really should start thinking about that as children. And 3, I tried to appeal to the teacher, and I was like, yeah. Also, I looked up the pricing. I went into the Subway and asked them about pricing, because I did have Cynthia do that, on the trays. And really, between the sandwiches and the chips, it would probably be cheaper. And then we could probably use the extra money to buy books or something. So we voted again. This time, the vote was 11-7. We still had pizza, mind you. But I want y'all to know is that in the 5th grade, I persuaded 6 10-year-olds to have sandwiches instead of pizza. Okay, that was a big deal. So all that to be said, the lesson of the week is, if it's something that you believe in, you gotta fight for it. And you gotta come up with points as to why why you feeling how you feeling or what you fighting for. But especially in this climate, you gotta have facts. You gotta appeal to the people, but you gotta stand 10 toes. Even if you lose. Have a great week. Okay, bye.